So recently, while skimming through YouTube, I came across Lemon's video, Ye of Little Faith, Skull Lantern only. He states in the video how it's theoretically possible to beat Dark Souls with only the Skull Lantern, but you should not attempt this because of how extremely bad the Skull Lantern is. Upon hearing these words, a question popped into my head. Can you beat Dark Souls with no armor and Skull Lantern only? With that said, let's get into the rules for this run. Rule number 1, Skull Lantern only. Rule number 2, no armor. This started out as a joke that I ended up taking way too seriously. Rule number 3, no shields. When I say Skull Lantern only, I mean Skull Lantern only. Number 4, level caps. After every boss I beat, I'm allowed 5 levels. Number 5, buffs and rings are locked behind bosses. I can only get power within and wood grain ring after I beat the bell gargoyles, because this run isn't hard enough as it is apparently. Number 6, no glitches or mods besides modding the lantern at the beginning of the game. No summons, and lastly, beat every boss in the game. With that said, let's get this run started. I start off by naming my character Jack, short for Jack the Skeleton.
Here I come!
I also give myself a ponytail like the Skull Lantern so someone too can pull my head back. For the class, I decided to go with the Bandit. Some of you might be thinking, why didn't you follow Lemon's advice about using the Knight class? Well, remember those keywords skimming YouTube? Let's just say I missed some important bits that I will find out the hard way. For the gift, I went with the Master Key to skip all the bullshit at Undead Parish and Blighttown. With that said, let's get this adventure started. I start off by waking up in my cell and immediately taking off all my clothes. No need for any of that stuff. After being able to feel the breeze between my knees, I mod in the Skull Lantern. I will call him Scully. Before going any further, let's talk about the Skull Lantern for a bit. The Skull Lantern has 30 physical damage and 75 fire damage. Not too bad until you find out that the Skull Lantern cannot be upgraded, then it indeed becomes bad. The Skull Lantern has an E in strength for scaling. This literally does nothing. Looking at Mugen Monkey, you can see it starts off with an AR of 105, but let's just say you max out the strength, it only increases it to 108. 3 points is all you get for 99 strength. This literally does nothing. It won't increase your damage at all, but the worst part is, I did not find this out until later, so guess who wasted some stat points into strength? Well, that's enough about stats, let's talk about the weapon itself. It has a basic attack, it has a heavy attack, correction, its heavy attack is just its normal attack. Let's try two-handing it. Well, fuck me, it does the exact same damage as the single attack. Can it riposte? Nope. Can it backstab? Nope. And as you will see shortly, it cannot attack at all when dropping down. With that said, let's go find Oscar. I talk to Oscar and tell him my idea, and from the thought alone of doing this run, he dies. Definitely nothing to be worried about. After acquiring some Estus, it's time to take on the first boss, the Asylum Demon. As you can now see, the Skull Lantern has no plunge attack at all, which really sucks, but besides that one small hiccup, the Asylum Demon wasn't too bad. I just did the usual stay on his ass while smacking away. Well, this time, eating away. Isn't that right, Scully? After 22 hits and 1 minute and 23 seconds of eating ass, the Asylum Demon goes down, earning me my first victory. Only 25 more to go. After Scully had his fill of demon ass, we made our way to Firelink Shrine. From here, we head to New Londo Ruins to pick up a Firekeeper soul. Scully, this is the Firekeeper. She's a very nice lady who will be upgrading our Estus flask.
Pretty.
Yes, indeed.
Pretty ass.
Scully, don't even think about it. After reigning in Scully, we made it to Undead Burg. Here we hit our first level cap of 10. I know I said 5 levels per boss, but 10 looks better than 9. And with that, it's time to take on the Taurus Demon. For the first round of the Taurus Demon, I tried to stay on the bridge, but let's just say it didn't end very well for me. Some of you might be thinking right now, why not use the Gold Pine Resin? Well, I can't. The Skull Lantern is not considered a weapon, so weapon buffs do not work on it. But no worries, the second round was much better. I just stayed near the Taurus's crotch and ass to avoid most of his attacks, and in which Scully was very excited about. The only annoying thing was when the Taurus Demon would hop away, his feet would do chip damage to me for some weird reason. But after 47 hits and 3 minutes and 54 seconds of eating demon crotch and ass, he goes down as a very happy demon, earning me my second victory. After Scully gave the Taurus demon a happy ending, I introduced him to my good friend Solaire. Scully, this is Solaire. He's a very good friend of mine, but also an ass.
Ass?
Oh dear God. Once done talking to Solaire, I then proceed to access the shortcut to Darkroot Basin to make my way to Undead Parish. At Undead Parish, I grab another Firekeeper soul and head back to Firelink Shrine to upgrade my flask to +2. While at Firelink Shrine, I hit my next level cap of 15, and this is when I realized I had been wasting my points by putting them into strength. All the health that I could have had for the Bell Gargoyles. Wouldn't be in a Kane video if I didn't fuck up somehow. From here, I proceed to save Lotric. What's that, Scully? Push Lotric off the cliff? Well, if you say so. Don't get mad at me, Scully told me to do it. After murdering Lotric, I take his ring for a nice 20% boost to health, stamina, and equipment load. With that new power up, time to take on the Bell Gargoyles. First round I did pretty good. I was able to get them to half health, but ended up panicking, which caused me to roll too soon and died. Second round was pretty much the exact same, but I got 2 comboed this time instead. The third round was much better. For the single gargoyle, I just made sure to get behind him and take out his tail so he couldn't use it. Not long after, I was able to get him to half health. For the second phase, I just focused on the second gargoyle. It likes to spam its fire breath attack, which leaves it wide open to get hit. But finally, after some time, I was able to take him out, which only left me with 1 to deal with. Unfortunately, at this time, I only had 1 Estus left and ended up having to use it. The gargoyle still had half of his health left, so I had to play it extra careful. But lucky for me, my patience paid off. After 10 minutes, 65 hits, and Scully giving gargoyle ass a 10 out of 10, I earned my 3rd victory. With the gargoyles defeated, I make my way to the Red Drake to earn an easy 20k souls to buy the Crest of Artorias. From here, I unlock the sealed door and convince some forest hunters to jump off a cliff. I then join the forest hunters to summon Shiva and his bodyguard, which I then proceed to convince Shiva's bodyguard to jump off a cliff. I then acquire the Wood Grain Ring. The Wood Grain Ring changes the dodge animation to a flip and gives me more iframes, but I must have an equipment load of 25% or less, which we all know will not be an issue for me. After acquiring the ring, I proceed to do a jump skip to the lower Undead Berg. To do this skip, run into these stairs and jump off. Now be careful, if you hit this corner, it will push you too far to the right and you will not make the jump. Once landed on the edge, walk off and quit out to reset the mobs. From here, take out the dogs and run for dear life. After running for dear life, I open the shortcut to Firelink Shrine, and with that, it's time to take on the Capra Demon. Surprisingly, I was able to beat the Capra Demon on my first try, and I was level 20 for this fight. As everyone knows, for this fight you just run up the stairs, take out the dogs, and plunge attack the demon. Except, I can't plunge attack. So I tried to fight him normally and quickly realized this was not going to work. So after using all my Estus and all the humanity that I had on me, I just ran away. But in the process of running away, I found out that I could hit the demon after he falls because he is stunned for a few seconds. So I simply did that. I ran away, made him fall, and attacked. Then this happened. Scully was at risk of breaking. To be honest, I forgot about weapon durability. But lucky for me, it didn't break. I also found out the Capra Demon takes fall damage, as you can see right here. Funny enough, this is how he ended up dying. After 12 minutes and 39 seconds, I earned the Depths Key and my 4th victory. With the Capra Demon defeated, I make my way through the depths to find Laurentius. After rescuing Laurentius, I meet him back at Firelink Shrine to get the Pyromancy Flame. With a Pyromancy Flame in hand, I make my way to the Valley of the Drakes. Here I acquire the Red Tearstone Ring. The Red Tearstone Ring increases your attack power by 50% when your health is at 20% or less. I'll be needing it for the next boss fight. With my new ring, I head into the depths to take on the Gaping Dragon. First go around, I did pretty good until FromSoft's bad hitboxes fucked me over, and they fucked me over a lot in this run. Second round was the same thing, no clue what actually hit me here, but finally the third round was my round. For this fight, I was level 25. What I did for this fight was get my HP low enough so that I could use the 50% damage increase from the Red Tearstone Ring. This is a gamble usually, but I know of a way to make the Gaping Dragon's AI repeat the same move. If you stay far away from the Gaping Dragon after it does its head slam attack, it will just keep doing that same attack for some reason. For this to work though, I have to be far away. If I am too close, he will do one of his other moves. So that's what I did for 10 minutes and 11 seconds. I smacked the dragon on the head, or the clit as Scully likes to call it, and ran away. After 60 hits, the Gaping Dragon goes down, earning me my 5th victory. With the Gaping Dragon no more, I make my way to Blacktown and grab Power Within. After snagging Power Within, it's time to take on Chaos Witch Quelaag. You might be thinking Quelaag is immune to fire, and you would be right. I only do 4 damage with Power Within and 3 damage when it runs out. Quelaag has 3,139 HP. If we do not include Power Within damage, that would be 1,047 times I would have to hit Quelaag to kill her. My finger game after this is going to be impeccable. With that, I start hammering away. But after 21 minutes and 34 seconds, my weapon is at risk of breaking and I had no repair powder on me. So I made the decision to bail and go buy some powder. After having the powder, I tried once again. Unfortunately, I used all my healing and ended up dying after 36 minutes and 28 seconds. And again, at 52 minutes and 27 seconds. At this point, I knew I needed more Estus, so I headed to the catacombs to take on Pinwheel. Pinwheel was actually scary. With only doing 22 damage with Power Within, I knew this wasn't going to be easy, and it wasn't. I actually had to kill the Pinwheel clones to make sure they don't spam their fireball attack. I came close a few times to dying, but I was able to pull through. Funny enough, when he did his big shadow clone no jutsu, most of them didn't really do anything, and I was easily able to take them out. After that, Pinwheel didn't summon anymore, and I was easily able to take him out. It only took 82 hits in 6 minutes and 54 seconds to earn my 6th victory, and more importantly, the Rite of Kindling. Now being able to have 20 Estus, I head back into the fray. And due to a simple mistake, I died once more at 57 minutes and 2 seconds. To say I was angry would be an understatement. I knew at this point I needed to focus. I needed to lock in. For this fight, I was level 30. I ended up finding 3 different times I could get hits in. First way was anytime she does her sword combos, if you stay on her right side walking into her armpit, you can hit her without getting hit. Depending on the position for this attack, I actually had to roll to not get hit. But after a while, you could tell when you needed to dodge and when you didn't need to. Also, I had to be mindful of the uneven ground. When I was at higher elevation, I would still get hit by her sword attacks even though I was dodging. The second way I could get a lot of hits was when her spider was throwing up lava. This was the saving grace to make this fight go a bit faster. Thirdly was when her spider would lift its legs, I could easily get a hit or 2 in after they came slamming back down. And after 54 minutes and 52 seconds of locking the fuck in, I was able to beat Quelaag. I even had 6 Estus to spare and it only took 1,035 hits to earn my 7th victory. Oh, also Scully gave her ass a 0 out of 10 since FromSoft wouldn't let him eat it. After sacrificing a good portion of my life to that fight, I make my way to Sin's Fortress to sacrifice some more. Time to take on the Iron Golem. I thought the Iron Golem fight was going to be easy, but I was very wrong in that regard. I ended up dying 23 times. This is mostly due to the fact I was trying to make him fall off the edge. I was not successful in pulling this off. For this fight, I was level 35. The fight was tough since he does so much damage and for the fact I could easily fly off the edge with a single attack. But I ended up finding a pattern that worked for me. I found if I ran and hit his leg and ran away, he would repeat the same attacks. The attacks I would look for would be his foot stomp attack, his fist slam, his grab, or his low horizontal swing attack. If he did any of these attacks, I could get hits in. Anything else I would have to dodge. And near the end, it got a bit spicy. I had run out of Estus by this point and I was below half health. The Iron Golem only had about a quarter of his life left, so I did what I had to do. I locked in. No, that's a lie. I had been playing for over 10 hours at this point, slouched in my chair looking at the screen sideways. I just prayed to RNGesus and hoped for the best, and wouldn't you believe it, he answered my prayer. At the very end, with only 10% HP left, I was able to stun the Golem and finish him off. After 257 hits, 22 minutes and 47 seconds, and pure fucking luck, I earned my 8th victory. With the Iron Golem defeated, I decided to take on Moonlight Butterfly. Moonlight Butterfly wasn't too bad. I simply had to do what you would normally do when fighting her with a melee weapon. Just wait until she flies down to hit her. Wait a minute. She heals herself when she lands? What the fuck, FromSoft? This definitely made the fight last way longer than it should have, but after 73 hits and 18 minutes and 3 seconds, she goes down, earning me my 9th victory. After bashing a butterfly's head in with a skull, I make my way to Anor Londo to take on Mama Ornstein and Daddy Smo. It definitely took me a minute to get the hang of Ornstein and Smo. Ended up dying 6 times. Funny enough, the Iron Golem was worse. After making it to the second phase and dying to a simple mistake, I decided I needed to upgrade my Estus and stock up on some humanity. So I introduced Scully to Dark Moon Knightus and Quailag's little sister. After sending them to their final resting places, I upgraded my flask to +5. From here, I hunted some rats for humanity. After gathering 30 humanity, I was ready to take on Ornstein and Smo. For this fight, I was level 45. Ornstein and Smo were a bit tricky simply due to Smo being up Ornstein's ass the entire time. Besides that, it was not too hard to dodge Ornstein's attacks to get some hits in. And after 150 hits, 19 Estus, and 21 humanity, Ornstein goes down, leaving me to deal with Smo. Smo was a big pain in the ass, mostly due to his hammer's bad hitbox. But I did find a way to deal with him. I found out if I tried to roll when he did his hammer slam attack, I would get chipped by the bad hitboxes. But if I ran around it instead, I did not get hit. You can also dodge his horizontal swing attack by standing face to face with his crotch, but only the second swing. His first swing, you have to roll to dodge it. Lastly, I was able to get hits in after he would do his electric butt slam attack. When I see it coming, I would do 2 rolls away and wait about 3 seconds and then run back to get some hits in. Nearing the end, I got a bit spicy and used Power Within, which got a bit scary, but I was able to pull it off. After 239 hits, 1 Estus, 9 humanity, and 1 hour and 3 minutes, I earned my 10th victory. Also, this isn't even the longest fight, just you wait. With Mama Ornstein and Daddy Smo put to bed, I introduced Scully to his future wife. Scully, this is Guinevere, aka Big Titty Goddess.
Big ass too.
You know, Scully, you're right. From now on, she will be known as Big Titty Ass Goddess, or Goddess of Thickness. After introducing Scully to Guinevere, he got all riled up, so he paid the Stray Demon a visit. The Stray Demon was super easy. In my last run, I had found out that if you just circled the Stray Demon and Fire Sage, you can dodge all their attacks. What was funny about this go around was he kept doing his butt slam attack over and over, and the fight went on for so long, I got bored, so I tested the distance you needed to be to avoid his attacks. And it's 3 steps. If you do 2, you'll get hit. But after having my fun, I let Scully have his fun. With 430 hits and 33 minutes and 20 seconds of ass eating, I earned my 11th victory. After Scully was satisfied with eating ass, I head back to my cell and pick up the peculiar doll and make my way to the painted world of Ariamis. From here, I used a speedrunner shortcut to skip the undead dragon, and with that, it's time to take on Priscilla. But before fighting, I want to introduce Scully to her. Scully, this is Priscilla. She is the best girl, but the viewers want us to fight her for some reason.
She has nice feet.
Of course, that's what's on your mind. With introductions over with, it's time to fight. Priscilla was hard because she stayed invisible 99% of the fight. I was able to do enough damage at 2 points to get her to show, and after that, never again. I had to watch her footprints the entire time, and the worst part is her health bar doesn't show. So I had no clue how much health she had left. By the end, I had used up all my Estus and humanity, but lucky for me, after 187 hits and 31 minutes and 13 seconds, she goes down, earning me my 12th victory. After learning to respect Priscilla as a boss fight, I made my way to the Demon Ruins. I let Scully sniff Ceaseless Discharge Sister's clothes and then proceed to smash Scully's face into Ceaseless Jerking Arm. Scully gives this a 0 out of 10. With Ceaseless out of the way, it's time to take on the Fire Sage. Let's just say Scully was very excited to see another thick demon ass to eat. The Fire Sage played out the same as the Stray Demon, but instead of doing his butt slam attack, he just kept spamming his jumping away move. He really does not like Scully near his derriere, but after 441 hits, 27 minutes and 12 seconds of pure ass licking, he goes down, earning me my 14th victory. That just leaves the Centipede Demon. The Centipede Demon was pure hell. Just like Quailagg, I could only do 3 damage to him. The worst part is he has more health. He has a total of 3,432 HP, that means I have to hit him 1,144 times if I do not use Power Within. I actually got very close after 58 minutes and 43 seconds, but ended up dying. Why do I keep going on? I do not know. I ended up being level 57 for this fight. The trick I found to beating him is just hitting his feet and running away in the first phase, or get lucky he does his lunge attack and you can get some extra hits in. Once he's at his second phase, that all changes. With him now going fireball crazy, you can't really hang out below him. I did find to avoid this attack, you just need to walk behind him and to the right to dodge it. Here, I still attack his legs, but I try to mix it up a bit with attacking his tail because in this phase, he really likes to stomp his feet. With that said, it took 20 Estus, 15 Humanity, 1,134 hits, and 1 hour and 7 minutes to earn my 15th victory, with Scully giving this a negative 10 out of 10. After learning what mental torture was like, it's time to take on the Bed of Chaos. The Bed of Chaos is the Bed of Chaos, there's nothing new here. With giving the Bed of Chaos the amount of attention it deserves, time to visit little old Seath. I run past a few metal boars and books to find Seath the Scaleless. Finally, I didn't get cursed this time when dying. After happily being killed and not getting cursed, I broke out of jail, grabbed some keys, and showed Scully the tentacle mummies. You cannot see it, but he is drooling. With that done, I grabbed the Firekeeper soul in the back of the cell to upgrade my flask to +6. With all that done, time to take on Seath the Scaleless. As usual, one of the damn clams made it in, but I got lucky that Seath killed it for me. I was level 62 for this fight. For the first bit, I was just trying to spam attack his belly, but that wasn't really working out too well for me. So I switched it up and went for his tentacle legs. I knew if I went far enough to the side, he would want to turn to see me, and sure enough, he did. So I would just chase his leg and make sure to get behind it so his beam attack wouldn't hit me. After 31 minutes and 24 seconds of doing this, I got brave and decided to use Power Within to see if I could finish him off. It was going well until I saw his room-wide attack, so I said fuck it and started spamming the shit out of the R1 button. But I wasn't fast enough. He was able to get the attack off before I could kill him, and I didn't have enough time to escape. So I spammed even harder in hopes to finish him off. It became a race between me and the curse meter. Who will win? Both inching closer to victory. Unfortunately though, I ended up getting cursed. But Seath also died at the exact same time. For a second, I thought I really messed up, but as you can see, the victory text appears just as I'm fading away. So I rushed back over to see, and sure enough, I fucking did it. I am never doing that again. After 444 hits and pure fucking luck, I earned my 17th victory. With that narrow victory, I figured it was time to take on Gwendolyn, even though I really didn't want to. I chased Gwendolyn for a long time. So long, in fact, the hallway ran out. I knew this was possible, but did not think I would ever see it. Once at the end, I just had to circle him and he easily went down. Only took 139 hits and 14 minutes and 3 seconds to earn my 18th victory. After showing Gwendolyn who his daddy really is, I decided to make my way through the Tomb of Giants to take on Nito. But I made a quick stop along the way to pick up Scully's cousin, Eduardo. With Eduardo in hand, I made my way to Gravelord Nito. Alrighty then, I'll come back another time. With Nito's fight put on hold, I decided to take on the Hydra, which was very tedious, but I got it done. With the Hydra defeated, I rescued Dusk, acquire a pendant, and get manhandled just like Scully does on a regular basis. With that done, it's time to take on the Sanctuary Guardian. Sanctuary Guardian definitely kicked my ass. I was level 71 for this fight. With the Skull Lantern's hitbox not being that great, it made it pretty hard to get some hits in. After dying one too many times, I finally figured out what I needed to do. I needed to take out his tail. His damn tail was the biggest problem that I was having with him. So I found after he does his air dive attack, his tail was left open for an attack. Unfortunately though, I could only get one hit in. I honestly after a while thought maybe it can't break, but finally after 34 hits, it finally broke. With his tail out of the way, it made the fight a lot easier, but still scary. The attacks I looked for were his air dive attack, his headbutt attack, and most importantly, his air slam attack. All of these attacks were the easiest to get hits in since he had negative frames afterwards, but even with this, I ended up running out of Estus. As we all know by now, this isn't my first rodeo being at 0 Estus and the boss being near death. So I stayed focused and okay, that's a lie. I had been fighting this boss for so long, the screen at times was blurry and I was half out of it since it was 2 in the morning. But even with all that, I was able to pull it off. After 20 Estus, 171 hits, and 57 minutes and 22 seconds, I had earned my 19th victory. From one hell to the next, it's time to officially take on Gravelord Nito. For this fight, I actually took the time to level myself up to 90, and for my stats, I actually leveled resistance up to 19. I did this so Nito couldn't toxic me in one hit, and yes, I was being lazy for the other fights, not using my 5 levels per boss fight, and yes, I could have been 95 at this point, but I was tired of grinding. With that said, let's talk about the fight. I already knew this fight was going to be rough due to Nito's skeletons, but lucky for me, I have a lot of HP to take the abuse. The plan for Nito was simple, let Nito take out the skeletons while I take him out. And funny enough, I got super lucky because one of the skeletons got launched into the wall and stuck there. Some of you would say the right thing to do would be to reset and have a fair fight. And my response to that is, fuck fighting fair. Nito has an army that can't be killed unless you have a fucking divine weapon. If anything, it's more fair now. So I used this advantage that was given to me to make my life a little easier. And with that said, it took 20 Estus, 16 humanity, 345 hits, and 31 minutes and 50 seconds to earn my 20th victory. After showing Nito who the true Gravelord is, it is time to take on Aquarius the Abyss Walker. Scully?
Yes?
This is Artorias. We must save him at all costs, no matter how long it takes.
Got it.
I actually reached my level cap for this fight of level 100. Artorias wasn't a hard fight, just a very long one. It became very obvious to me early on which attacks I would be able to avoid to get hits in, and those attacks are his lunge attack, his spin attack, his big jump attack, and his AoE. The reason this takes so long is you can only get one hit in at a time. Artorias reacts so fast, if you try to get more than one hit on him, he will retaliate and smack the shit out of you. So I had to be super patient for this fight. An hour and 27 minutes levels of patience. Some of you might be thinking I stayed focused the entire time, and I'm here to tell you that is not the case. From what I researched, the average time for someone to stay extremely focused is around 30 minutes, and after that, your mind starts to drift. And it's 100% does because I constantly had to reel myself back in. Usually when my focus would break is when I would get hit. That was the real battle. Not the fight itself, but to stay focused for that long period of time. Even dealing with that challenge, I kept going, and after 17 Estus, 2 humanity, and 375 hits, I finally defeated Artorias the Abyss Walker, earning me my 21st victory. I don't think I've ever been that mentally drained before after a fight. I honestly had to take a few hours off before coming back to try Calamite, and oh dear god, he was worse than Artorias. Or at least he felt like it. So from this point, I decided to not level past 100 because I'm one prideful son of a bitch who hates himself apparently. Calamite almost broke me, not because the fight was godly long, but because of his damn hitboxes. If you ever do a DS1 challenge run, you will learn it has some bad hitboxes. I'm starting to understand why Gino sticks with Elden Ring. Calamite suffers from the lingering hitbox issues, plus his damn head can pull you in and then hit you even though you rolled away. But I did find a way around this. For his big head swing attack, all I had to do was roll far to the left to avoid it entirely and keep running into his side to avoid his follow-up attack. For his lunging claw attack, I did the same thing but rolled to the right. If you roll left or straight, there's a good chance you'll get hit by the attack even though you rolled, because the hitbox on his claws hangs out for a second too long. Besides this, I mainly focus on attacking his feet. The best time to get a lot of hits in is when he's standing up and does his fire breath attack. But you have to be careful because the animation is similar to his debuff attack. With all that said, it took 18 Estus, 26 humanity, 540 hits, and 1 hour and 5 minutes for him to go down, earning me my 22nd victory. With Calamite defeated, that just leaves the final DLC boss, Manus. At first I thought Manus was really hard, but by the end of it, he really wasn't that bad. Manus has some fast attacks, but after watching them for a while, they start to slow down. It just takes the eye some time to adjust to the movement, but once this happens, he wasn't too hard to deal with. So these are the attacks I looked for to get hits in. His uppercut attack, his jump attack, his lunge attack, his vertical reach attack, and his rage attack. As you can see, Manus has a lot of openings to get hits in, more than any other of the DLC bosses. But you really want to look out for his lunge attack and the uppercut attack. These two are the easiest to get a lot of hits in. Now you might be saying, Akane, what about his second phase? Well, it's the exact same, but you'll be using the talisman that you can get to block his magic attacks. For the sky attack, you just need to press it twice and roll away. For his shotgun attack, you only need to press it once, and for his circle magic attack, you only need to press it twice, but I like to press it 3 times to be safe, and that's all you need to do to beat Manus. It only took 19 Estus, 24 Humanity, 658 hits, and 1 hour and 23 minutes to beat him, earning me my 23rd victory. After defeating Manus, my only option left is to take on Sif. Sif wasn't a hard fight, just a bit frustrating. As stated earlier, the Skull Lantern's hitbox is very small and can easily miss, and that's 100% true for the Sif fight. I actually had to use the lock-on system to hit her, and I'm not a big fan of the lock-on system in Dark Souls. Even with that slight hiccup at the beginning, Sif goes down after 258 hits in 20 minutes and 35 seconds, earning me my 24th victory. Only 2 more to go. With Sif sadly defeated, it's time for the fight everyone has been waiting for, the 4 Kings. The 4 Kings fight is simply stupid. Due to it being a DPS check, I do not think it's possible to beat them with no armor with this low of damage. Unfortunately, all 4 Kings will be out and about, and you will get stun locked to oblivion. Either way, I knew at this point I was going to fail with no armor, but I did decide to give it a few tries, but after a while I said fuck it. I had enough at this point, and I was satisfied with the amount that I have done with no armor. So I hit my level cap of 125, put on Havel's armor, and went at it. After 20 Estus, 81 Humanity, 3 Elizabeth Mushrooms, 771 hits, and finally 34 minutes and 19 seconds, the 4 Kings went down, earning me my 25th victory. After defeating the 4 Kings, I offer up the Lord Souls to access the Kiln of the First Flame to finally end this run once and for all, thank God. At this point in time, I was very tired and just wanted this run to be over with. So I went in with Havel's armor, but even with Havel's armor, Gwen still gave me a bit of trouble. The key that I found for Gwen is to just circle around him to your right and parry any of his attacks that can be parried. After parrying, only hit him twice. If you try to do more than 2 hits, you won't have time to parry him again. With that said, it took 19 Estus, 19 Humanity, 311 hits, and 17 minutes and 3 seconds to beat Gwen. And with that, I earned my final victory. So, can you beat Dark Souls with no armor and Skull Lantern only? No. Can you beat Dark Souls with Skull Lantern only? Yes. Yes, you can. Now, should you? No. Will I ever attempt something like this again? Probably, but it'll be a minute. The fact that I would get excited to see more than 3 damage after the Quelaag fight shows you the amount of mental damage that has been done. But with that said, I would like to thank my supporters. Scott T, you're the man. If you too would like to see your name in the video or would like to help support the channel, click the Patreon link down below or click the join button. If you made it this far into the video, I just want to say thank you. It really does mean a lot to me that someone would actually watch what I make. I really do appreciate it. Until next time, take care.